Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward once again for Letterman Row. It's BuckIQ, former Ohio State linebacker, fullback, do it all. Zach Bourne is here. We're doing that weekly defensive breakdown.
It's that time, isn't it?
It's that time, man.
Yeah.
So we got to get fired up, ready to talk about it. It's Indiana week, but I think everybody wants to hear about what happened defensively against Penn State. And Zach, I think, again, there's an explosive play, but I think if I told you that Ohio State was going to go into a whiteout, just give up 26 points, probably going to take that, right?
Yeah, I think going into this week, if everyone had said Ohio State's defense was going to give up 26, I think everyone thought Ohio State's offense was for sure going to put up more than that. It is. It's the big explosive play that is haunting Ohio State this season, especially in big games. We all know the 93, 96-yard touchdown, whatever it was, with Penn State coming out on the simple slant route was kind of a dagger there in the game. But man, this Ohio State defense, whenever the game is on the line, they need a big play. They always seem to make it.
Yeah, I think people are focused a lot on what Trace McSorley did and the insane numbers he put up. I'm not trying to sugarcoat any of that, but two of it come just from a long run and a long touchdown. So, I don't know, you take it with a little bit of a grain of salt maybe. You don't ignore the issues as well.
Yeah, we talked about it going into last week's game. It's so hard to defend a running quarterback. For the quarterback to be in the pocket, especially on a pass play, and be able to scramble and get 51 yards, which we saw on a scramble. When they went to lead draw plays late in the game, that's a hard play to defend, and almost the defense has to play perfect. From an offense standpoint, someone has to mess up their blocking scheme because from a number standpoint, it's next to impossible to account for the quarterback run.
So there is an explosive play on here as we go into BuckIQ with Zach Bourne. Also two pretty good plays he talked about there down the stretch to seal that victory. So let's roll the tape.
McSorley from the goal line, slant, and there's Hamler, the speedy freshman. They'll never catch him. KJ Hamler, touchdown.
Well, Zach, there's really no other place to start here. This is the one that everyone is talking about, the second 93-yard touchdown that Ohio State has allowed this year. Just your thoughts, the first thing you see here.
It is. You want when you roll this back and you look at the way Ohio State starts this off, you saw how many times Ohio State, especially on third downs, when they went to the stand-up look with the linebackers showing blitz, trying to get this defense or this offensive line somehow, some way to step to a linebacker who wasn't coming to get one-on-one blocks with the defensive line. We saw there were a couple times where they had trouble getting some pressure. Well, this was Ohio State's adjustment to try and get one-on-one blocks, get defensive linemen have pressure on Trace McSorley. You see this. It's cover one. Everyone is matched up. You've got a spy here with Pete Werner. You've got Harrison bring in the pressure. The problem is you've got cover one. As a DB, you are taught you cannot let the man inside. Cover one.
Man coverage with a safety up top, you have to play to the inside. This is where you are vulnerable. If they come outside, so be it. It's a really hard throw. This is a super easy throw right over the middle. Shaun Wade's got to be able to sit on Hamler's inside and force him to either bend it in so he's on top of him or just be physical at the point and not let him get off the line. The issue was he let him get a clean release off the line, doesn't get any hands on him, easy throw, and of course, we've seen this multiple times. Pryor's got to take better angles sitting back here. You see it really good here. He's got to shade a little bit more to his inside, knowing that, hey, I have got no help to my inside. Instead, he gets no jam on him. He goes for the outside fake. And look at that. Look at the separation. That's an easy catch and throw that I guarantee you these two have done 1,000 times in practice. Then you see the angle back here. He's got to take a better angle. Pryor's got to take a better angle. Going flat instead of coming downhill. Get flat. Know that, hey, this guy's got a head of speed. Take off and go.
Yeah, when you look at this here with Shaun Wade, Zach, I mean, once in a while you're probably going to lose an individual matchup, right? But there's been this recurring issue where safeties aren't providing that safety net, that insurance. So if you do lose, that you're not busting it all the way to the house.
Yeah, you can. And you even see Sheffield out here. Look how he's sitting on the inside. If you pause that, he's got good inside leverage taking away the inside. If you look at Shaun Wade, he's square on him. He's got to be another half a man over to force Hamler to come inside even harder, and he cannot fall for the outside fake. If he goes outside, like I've said, he goes outside. It makes it a much harder throw. He can undercut it. He can do whatever he needs to do. It's impossible to undercut a throw to the inside when you've got outside leverage because it's so easy to get separation, and an inside throw, a slant pattern is one of the easiest throws for a quarterback to make.
All right, so we've seen that a couple times throughout the year. It's going to have to be addressed. Might not affect much in October, but there's some big ones in November and December, of course.
Huge play, plenty of time, and all 3 timeouts. McSorley hesitated, and that time he'll be dropped, and they got him.
In his case, he grabbed a hold of the shoulder pad. His hand actually grazed his.
Now this is what sets them up, though, to be competing for championships there. This is the last drive of the game, Zach.
It is. You saw them go to this later in the second half, too. You want to talk about adjustments. They were bringing the linebackers up on the line, but they also started running stunt games. You saw some loops later in the game, and you see a great one here. This is essentially the same thing that they ran to end the game that we're going to see on 4th down. But you see them run a great stunt here, getting pressure up the field. Chase Young showing his hand, showing like he's going to give him some kind of pump fake and give him some kind of speed rush, but instead he folds back underneath and is able to make a great play on Trace McSorley, which this was the final drive of the game. This was huge right here. 1st and 10. Penn State was getting some momentum down the field. They run this stunt game. Chase Young, I mean, come on, he came up big all day.
What makes this adjustment here, this stunt game, the twist inside, what makes that such a good solution to what Penn State was doing here?
Well, it's so good because you have all these guys on the line, right? We talked about that, getting the defensive linemen single blocks. So essentially what you have here is now with all these guys walking up, this O-line doesn't know who's coming. All these guys are showing like they're coming. So now the Penn State O-line knows, hey, we are one-on-one on our guys with the back helping out here in the middle. So these guys know, hey, he's going left. He's going left. The guard, tackle, center all got these 3 guys. Running backs got the middle linebacker here in the middle. These 2 linemen are responsible for these 2 guys. What you see right here is they are so good at attacking this gap that the guard has to pick him up, which leaves Chase Young one-on-one with the tackle, and he's able to come back underneath because the guard is occupied. If they come out and this defensive tackle gets out on the tackle, the guard's able to kick back and pick up Chase Young underneath. But since they were so good at getting upfield and going through the B gap, the guard's got to stay on him, which it's impossible to pick up Chase Young right there from the offense tackle standpoint.
Yeah, he wants some of those matchups. He's got that athleticism, and we would see it again one more time on 4th down after a bunch of timeouts in a row.
Just get it off. Sanders smothered Chase Young.
This was the situation that decided the game.
They were. I mean, come on, you're going to run this play on 4th and 5, right? As
Buckeye
Nation, we love it, right? We absolutely love it. Penn State fans, not so much. You see the same exact thing right here. You'll see a loop game right here. You see the backers up on the line. You see all-man coverage. What I love here is you see Fuller take this bubble screen out of the equation. You knew that they were going to try and show something out here, especially seeing man. These guys are up tight on the line of scrimmage, not giving them anything, knowing that, hey, these guys are going to put pressure on them right away. You've got the single high safety, and you knew that the backers were going to be responsible for this quarterback. Later in the game, you saw Warner and Harrison get in there and be able to account for Trace McSorley. But then you've got the same loop game that we just saw, and they're so good. You see them singled up again, offensive lineman singled up. He's got to come out to the linebacker. You've got these 2 guys on the backside. You know, they're leaving one for the read option. These guys are going to come back inside, but it's still one-on-one blocking. You see this tackle right here because they were so good with that B technique and having the guard take him. You see him be able to come back underneath, and the tackle's just chasing him. He's chasing Chase Young, right?
That's what he's doing.
He's not going to win it. Chase Young comes inside and makes a great play to end this game. Tackle for loss on 4th and 5, and you leave Happy Valley all happy.
Yeah, I think when you look at this other angle too, like even if McSorley keeps here, it looks like Ohio State has every single option covered. You mentioned Jordan Fuller, and then out here, you know, Draymond Jones is in position to make a tackle, even on a injured ankle here.
Yeah, and even 74 here, right? If you're seeing this, you have to come back on Harrison. If he comes back on Harrison, they block that thing is gashed, and everyone thinks, you know, Franklin's the smartest coach in the world, right? But still, you saw what Ohio State was able to do. They were able to give them different looks. Greg Schiano, this is a perfect play call in this situation. Penn State was not thinking this. They were thinking, hey, these guys are going to play hard-nosed straight up and try and play for, you know, some kind of pass play or some kind of read option, RPO type situation. Instead, Ohio State said, nope, we're going to bring some pressure, we're going to bring some games, and you know what, we're going to stop you guys, and that's exactly what they did.
They survived. They did all that without Nick Bosa. Chase Young right here looking like a superstar. Ohio State goes to Penn State, gets the stops they need down the stretch, get the win they need to take control of the Big Ten. Now they're moving on to Indiana this week, feeling good and 5-0, Zach. So defense feeling a little bit better about themselves, has some issues to clean up, and obviously we're going to be talking about that next week when Zach Bourne returns for a defensive BuckIQ. So for Zach Bourne, I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time.